Hi there, I'm Nick Harauz, and this video is for anyone looking to leverage more from your iPhone for capturing as well as editing video content. We're going to take a look at some of those misconceptions that might be associated with the automatic options activated on your phone when it comes to shooting content, a few must-to-do checklist items to help prepare your device for production, and finish with a technique for transferring footage to your desktop using Adobe Rush on your mobile device, and then opening up those files in Premiere Pro. Let's start with the automatic convenience options of the iPhone for video. Now there's a saying that the best camera out there is the one that's available to you. And I love this because it speaks to something for every aspiring video creator. The tools you need to start are right there at your fingertips. It's that iPhone in your back pocket and it's waiting for you to press record. Now, while it's super exciting to have this power, there's a degree of preliminary knowledge needed to take advantage of this as a full storytelling device. A creator might misinterpret these mobile capabilities as a promise to allow for the automatic birth of stellar content that will be streamed worldwide by just pressing that record button, and it just ain't so. What if I told you that some of these automatic functions that allow for point-and-shoot content don't always work in your favor? One automatic function that iPhones take care of is exposure. When you enter video mode, your iPhone will try to brighten your image based on where you tap on your screen. For example, if you're shooting and it gets brighter, the exposure will adjust, causing unwanted changes. The same is true if you're moving between environments. To avoid these fluctuations, you can lock this exposure. Choose an object in your frame that you want to base the brightness off of. Your iPhone will adjust. Then tap and hold to lock it. If there are light fluctuations or you move the camera, that exposure is not going to change, allowing you to avoid problems in post. Another set of automatic features we can look at are those that slowly have been implemented over the last few versions of your phone. In the iPhone 11, a feature was introduced when you're in camera mode that allows you to click and hold and then swipe to the right to switch to video mode. While super convenient, the video's quality doesn't allow for maximum size quality or a standard video frame size. When I take a look at it here on my desktop, we can see that its size isn't even close to standard video formats, such as 1920 by 1080. The iPhone 12 offers an exciting new feature that allows for you to record HDR video. This is a nice way of saying it captures a wider range of colors compared to other video formats. But is HDR necessary if your audience doesn't own an HDR device? You don't have a properly calibrated HDR monitor, as well as effects, transitions, and motion graphics optimized for that color space. Will anyone's besides your iPhone 12 and up friends notice? Finally, let's enter the iPhone 13 Pro and cinematic mode, an easy-to-use way of adding a depth of field look to your video artificially. Using machine learning, it also allows for tracking features that will follow a person's head movements and change the focus based on those movements as well. You can even manipulate this on your phone or in post in an application such as Final Cut Pro. This is super cool. However, this artificial blur isn't always accurate, and a manual camera app like Filmic Pro or Mavis might be a better option for more control and realism. It's also restricted to HD and shoots at a frame rate not always associated with filmic content. Again, these new features are convenient like automatic exposure. However, when they don't serve your content, and if you don't know about them, wasted hours in production will accumulate, and then there's everything in post. Let's move to number 2, which is about preparing your iPhone to shoot. While iPhone shooting involves around 3 or 4 gestures to press play immediately, if you're shooting lots of content, then preparing your device needs to be considered in advance. I recommend a checklist that you refer to the night before you're ready to go out and shoot. Now, number 1, if you're using a series of apps to help you shoot, don't forget to launch them, and if required, update when you have access to Wi-Fi. I can recall several times in production where time was lost on set because passwords were required or forgotten, and updates needed to be done over a Wi-Fi connection. Check the apps you plan to use. Number 2, have a backup device for your video. That footage you shot has value, and if anything happened to your device, your phone, you would lose it. There are several manufacturers that make lightning connections that allow you to dump files to. They require apps on your phone, but can allow for instant backup during downtime. If you have a Mac computer on set, you might consider Airdrop. On the current iOS, you can enable Airdrop under Settings, General, Airdrop, and choosing Contacts Only or Everyone. On your Mac, go to your Airdrop settings, and in the Finder window under Favorites, set the Allow Me to be Discovered option. If you've recorded footage to your native camera app, select it from the camera, choose the Share option, and select Airdrop and the desired device. Times for transfer will depend on how large your files are. Number 3, kill all your background apps. On recent iPhones, you can click and hold and swipe up and to the right. Flick everything you don't need to be working off screen. If this is the first time you're doing this, give your thumbs a little stretch every once in a while. Number 4, do not disturb in airplane mode or your friend. Turn off any distractions that can interrupt your shot. You'll find both of these options in settings. Number 5, batteries, batteries, batteries. Start off by having your phone fully charged and also realizing your much-loved communication device is being used to film for the day. What other device could you bring to do certain tasks or check your TikTok thread to preserve battery? When your battery gets low, set it to low power mode. On set, having a supercharger as well as USB chargers can make sure you can capture content for the shoot. Okay, so we've looked at several production tips, but what about post? Chances are your time will be spent equally there, if not as much as it was on the shoot. We're going to just take a look at one tip that may help you when working inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, Adobe has a mobile and desktop app called Premiere Rush. On your iPhone, once downloading it, you could use it to capture footage or assemble and edit existing media. Since we want to edit on our desktop, we'll simply open up Rush and tap the plus icon at the bottom of the screen. In this instance, I'll add some clips I've stored in my local camera roll by clicking on them. Next, I'll click on them again to select the order in how they'll show up in a timeline. Let's give this project a name and click the gear icon to make sure that it's going to match the settings of the format I'm working in. Lastly, I'll check the sync to CC, which will automatically make it accessible to me on my desktop, where I have Premiere or Rush installed and a web connection. When I go to the next screen, I see that I could continue to edit on my phone by trimming the clips in the timeline. But since I want to have a bigger screen, let's open it in Premiere Pro. So I'm here on my desktop, and on the bottom left, you'll find an open Adobe Premiere Rush project. As long as you're using the same CC account on your phone, here you can see the project, and I'll click it to open. For any reason that a relink clip dialog box that comes up, it may be because you're still syncing that footage to your drive. In my case, you can see that the project is all connected and I'm ready to start working. Okay, so what have we learned? Number 1, some of the iPhone processes that make our lives easier through automation can also hinder us if we don't look deeper in the functions they serve. Number 2, preparing your iPhone for a video shoot can make your production life much easier and save you time on set. And number 3, we can use Premiere Rush as a gateway to transfer footage to our desktop for editing. If you're curious about the checklist for preparing your phone that I use, look no further than downloading it below. I'm also curious in anything else you might want to hear about iPhone production and post. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to click on the link below for additional information.